Hey everyone, Charting Man Dan from ChartGuys.com. You know, behind every single video that we put out every single day, there's a wonderful community of traders that we want to invite you to be a part of. Try the free 7-day trial and gain access to our live market broadcasts every morning and afternoon, interact with hundreds of like-minded traders, or take part in one of our dedicated chat rooms, each led by an analyst that's there to answer your questions in real time. Our trial is risk-free with absolutely no commitment or credit card required to experience the TCG community. For those looking for a head start in technical analysis, check out our entries and exits course in the link below in the description. Get up to speed with the fundamentals of TCG technical analysis and experience over 5 hours of great community-driven trading education. Checking in on PCLN NVDA TSLA NFLX and CMG daily weekly time frame. So PCLN is extremely weak. It's one of the weakest bounce attempts we saw from these major names. We rejected from exponential resistance, we rejected from 1800, and we closed near the low of the day. So we are absolutely anticipating further downside, especially if we see pullback in SPY and the market as a whole. So we're looking at 1791, 1774, and then a gap to fill at 1766. So the bears are in control after the bear flag. Very weak bounce and further downside. Weekly time frame, however, still certainly favors the bulls. We can pull all the way back to 1738 and still be in an uptrend. So this is normal, healthy consolidation at this point. If we were to break that level, that would shift our mindset. But as of right now, that is not a concern of the bulls. And we're just looking for a support level to be established here on the daily. Ideal scenario for the bulls would be to hold 1746 to be looking strongest on the daily time frame. So we'll be keeping an eye on that level. You can see we built a base of support 1733, 38, and 46 here back in March and April. NVDA, beautiful bounce for the bulls. I do a whiteboard every morning where I write out key levels and a couple sentences on these plays. And my commentary today was that the market is going to be salivating at the opportunity to buy into this semiconductor sector after seeing such a bull run on earnings. Any dip is going to be bought after you see a move like this and with the sector on fire. So the bulls bought the dip in a big way and closed at the high of the day. It was one of the strongest closes we saw, and it was a $6 move from the lows to the highs. We know NVDA is very volatile, and that is ideal for traders. So resistance is 133.43 and 134.86. Looking back up at the all-time high after that, our new support is established at 127.05. That's a good sign for the bulls because we didn't really establish support on the way up. We now have a very clear level to be watching. If we were to be unable to break the high of the all-time high and then pull back and break 127.05, that would be a red flag for the short term for the bulls, but that is not a concern right now with the close at the high of the day. Weekly time frame is potentially a bearish reversal candlestick. Depends on how tomorrow closes. If we close red, it will be. If we close green, it won't be. So we're still above the upper Bollinger Band. We're in breakout mode, and this is one of the strongest names that I have been following. Tesla on the daily time frame, also a very strong close. It's an inside bar on the daily time frame with a tightening range. Our support level is 305.31 and 305.50 the day before, so a little bit of a double bottom. And actually, I take that back. It's not an inside candlestick. It was a lower low by 19 cents. So a base of support, a lower high. The bulls have to break 313.94 and 314.63 tomorrow to see a bull break and some continuation. We have a double top at the all-time high, and we have a higher low pattern to be watching. So it's a bit of an ascending triangle at this point. Hasn't developed enough for it to be a clear ascending triangle. We would need to see a couple more touches on these trend lines, support trend line and resistance line. But as of right now, we are looking at some bullish momentum, and we'll see if we can get that followed through tomorrow. Bulls on the weekly time frame, holding exponential moving average support, keeping those bulls in full control. It would require a break of 290.76 to shift the trend in the short term back to the bears. Netflix on the daily time frame is an inside bar as well. Support is 153.24. If we break it, we're going to look for lower lows. Resistance is 156.89. If we break that, we're looking at the high of the dump day, 158.78. Bulls regain the daily middle Bollinger Band, good sign. And just an inside candlestick. There's so many inside bars to be watching for tomorrow with the tightening range. And there is potential with a Friday tomorrow that we see declining volume and a tightening range with another inside bar as well. So it's all about the range of today to be watching tomorrow and watching to see which direction it breaks to indicate short-term direction. We do have a bearish reversal candlestick on the weekly time frame after 3 big bull weeks in a row. So we have to be cautious of further pullback. If we see a red week next week, it will confirm it. But anything above 138.66 is a higher low on the weekly time frame, keeping the bulls in full control. So they have a lot of wiggle room. The weekly middle Bollinger Band support will come before that. So the daily time frame in the short term, all about the inside bar. CMG, also a very strong day today. It was one of our strongest days after yesterday, just because we were still so far above our 465 key support, and now we formed a new higher low. 476.04. So our resistance is very clear, just under 500 psychological. We are maintaining higher lows on the daily, but the weekly time frame has very clear resistance that the bulls have been struggling with. The 100-week resistance, rejection 3 out of the past 4 weeks. The upper Bollinger Band, 3-week rejection in a row. So we're cautious on this weekly time frame, but until we break this higher low pattern on the daily, the bulls don't really have anything to worry about because the trend is certainly in their favor. So that's what we've got heading into tomorrow. A lot of bounces. PCLN is clearly the weakest name on this list. NVDA is clearly the strongest, and Tesla is not far behind it. And inside bars to be watching. So the range of tomorrow is very important on all these names. Any bulls that break the high of today, tomorrow, instantly get put in a stronger category than names that do not. So I appreciate you watching, and that's, of course, in short-term category, short-term perspective. Have a great night. We'll see you over the weekend.